Not too far from the Minwangora town, surrounded by beautiful green fields, lies a factory that has stood the test of time. From the time it was founded in 1970, the factory has provided jobs for thousands of people since it began. Having perfected the art over the years, today, this factory produces some of the world's best DC. So join me as I try working at a desiccated coconut factory. This is my first time ever stepping into a place like this, and it already feels worlds apart from what I'm used to seeing at my local grocery store. Even though I got here quite early, it didn't take long for the factory to come alive. People started pouring in, each one moving with purpose, clearly knowing exactly where they needed to be.
Hello everyone. The last time you saw me, I was working with very expensive gemstones and jewelry. Today, you're going to see me work with something that's equally important to the Sri Lankan economy. I'm here today at Mathammana DC factory, and I'm about to step into the shoes of the workers here and see what it's like to work at a coconut factory. Well, at least I'm going to try. The man on my right here is absolutely no stranger to the Epic Journey series. He's been a part of season 1 and 2 and we've heard his story, we've heard about his work. Jason, thank you so much for having me here.
Alright, nice having you.
Yes, so just a question for you, Jason. Can you tell me what exactly DC is and what exactly I'll be doing today?
Okay, so desiccated coconut. So basically we are processing the coconut nut forward.
Okay.
After the husk has been removed, we process forward.
Okay.
We'll walk you through the removal of the shell, the paring, which is the brown skin, the testa,
Okay.
and then the drying, which is the final product.
Okay, so
that's
3
the plan
stages.
3 stages, yeah.
Okay, so like Jason just said, I have my work cut out for me today. But I am very excited. Jason, where do we start?
So basically we need to start with weighing of the coconuts. So
Okay.
we'll start with the weigh bridge. And we'll
Okay,
take it
which is
from
over there?
Yeah,
Okay.
we'll head that way.
Okay.
Yeah. Alright, man. So this is our weigh bridge.
Okay.
First part, we got to start weighing all the coconuts.
Okay.
We bring in around 100 to 150,000 coconuts a day. That's about 50
A day?
A day, yeah. That's about 50 to 60 tons.
Sheesh, okay.
So
That's a lot of coconuts.
This is the starting point. Don't take the coconut home, bring it to the factory. That's what they're saying. Follow me, I'll walk you in.
Let's go.
So this is where everything begins. The lorries arrive one at a time, each carrying a load of coconuts. They slowly make their way onto the weigh bridge and come to a stop. Inside, numbers are recorded carefully, and once the weighing is complete, the coconuts are unloaded and set aside to move to the next stage of the process.
Alright, Mel, so since we're done weighing,
Yeah.
let's go to the more dangerous part. Got to be a little
Dangerous,
careful.
why?
You know, your little lady fingers might not take this.
Oh no.
But we have to remove the shell here.
Okay.
This is serious work. Wastage, 0.
Okay.
Alright?
No pressure.
I'm going to give you this nice company
Oh, wow,
t-shirt.
okay.
Yeah. So we're going to call you the hatcheting. So
Hatcheting,
this
okay.
is the deshelling area.
Okay.
We'll take it from there.
Let's see.
Good luck.
Love this.
Alright.
Love the new t-shirt. But he said dangerous, so let's see how it goes.
Before I put my hands to the test, Jason took time to explain to me what exactly I needed to be aware of, and most importantly, what the 3 eyes of the coconut are.
I love the new t-shirt and I think you got the fit right, yeah?
Looking good.
Good stuff.
Alright.
And there's a lot of coconuts, bro.
We need a lot of nuts. What can I say? Alright, so I'll just walk you through
Yes,
this.
run me through it, yeah.
Alright, okay. So, the
That's a
skill
big
here
one.
is taking the shell off
Okay.
without breaking the nut.
Okay.
To have a good coconut, we need all the 3 eyes to be black. The darker it is, the
Okay.
more loose the shell is to remove, making your job
Okay,
easier.
easier, okay.
Right? fun fact, the plant or the seedling grows from the largest triangle. So if you look on the top, you'll see a triangle here,
Oh, yeah.
a triangle
Yeah,
here,
yeah.
and a triangle here.
So
The
it goes from the
largest
largest
triangle,
one.
the plant will shoot from there. Got it?
Pretty cool. It looks very dangerous.
So you gotta be careful. By machine, we expect about 5,000 nuts to be cut per day.
5,000.
Be very careful.
One person.
One person, right? Don't lose your finger because I'm not paying insurance this time.
That's-
right? I didn't sign a waiver
That's
with
not the best intro. We're supposed to motivate me, not scare me.
you. 5,000 nuts, 35,000 rupees a week. Pretty good incentive. Be careful though. Make sure the correct pressure is applied because if you miss,
That looks mad scary.
your finger will go in. So be careful. All right?
I'm not too sure I want to do this anymore.
Yeah. Don't call me. Good luck.
Okay, I mean, I'm here, so I might as well try, you know. Wish me luck.
To say that I was scared here would be a major understatement. I was absolutely terrified. To deshell a coconut properly, you have to hold it just at the right angle against the spinning blade wheel. The pressure, the precision, you get any of them wrong and the shell might not come off properly. Or worse, you'll end up losing a few fingers. And nobody wants that. There is no Control Z like the job that I usually do.
That was so scary, bro. My head is still shaking. I don't know how these people do this day in, day out. 5,000 nuts a day is insane. I don't know how they keep that level of commitment with that level of precision because your hand-eye coordination has to be so good. I don't even know, I'm at a loss for words because it was so scary. Jason, this is the best that I could do, bro. I don't know if this is worth going into the next section, but I don't know. Have I done a good job?
Not bad, not bad.
Not
Maybe
bad?
a little bit less on this, but first time, we'll give it a go.
So this is a bit that I wasted here.
Wasted, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But it can be used still.
Can be used.
Can be used.
Can be
Okay.
used. Why don't you chuck it in?
Chuck it in through this.
Straight to that.
Okay.
And then we'll go into the wet
This
section.
one. Okay. Oh, there we go. Okay.
All right.
Where to next? Other side.
So go to the wet section and we'll talk about the peeling.
Super. Okay.
All right.
So a bit of a wardrobe change for this one. I've traded in my jeans and shoes for shorts and slippers. And Jason has been nice enough to give me a special t-shirt just for this section. Right. So you must be wondering what I have in my hand here. This is what a deshell coconut looks like. Very similar to the one that I threw down the chute back there. And I'm about to go see what's on the other side of that chute. So, if you are as curious as me to continue to see how this coconut is transformed, you're definitely going to want to stay tuned for this.
All right, Mel. So now we're in the wet section. Few hygiene things. So we have to have a hairnet.
Okay,
That's for
sure.
you. There we go. The mirror here. Good. I'll give you the mask.
Yep. And why is it so important, Jason?
So from this section onwards, this is where the hygiene has to be really important because remember we are sending out an export grade product.
Yeah.
We want to reduce the risk of any hair,
Okay.
any germs going in. So
Right.
that's why we kind of start this.
Okay.
We'll be washing our hands and feet as well before going in. Be careful, it's a little bit slippery.
Okay. Yeah, I get.
Yeah.
Kind of get a feel of it already.
Yeah.
Okay, Jason. So I see that there's a lot going on here. Can you explain to me what happens after the deshell coconut comes to the chute?
Okay, so the brown ball comes in.
Yeah.
Then we need you to remove the brown skin.
Okay.
The testa
Yeah.
or kurutta we call it.
Okay.
That we send out for coconut oil for the local
Okay.
consumption.
So it's not wasted.
It's not wasted, nothing is wasted. Then we split it, we take the coconut water out, we send that for chilling.
Okay.
And then we wash the coconut 3 times and
Okay.
it moves into the next section which I'll show you there.
So that's what's happening here.
That's what's happening here.
Okay, lovely.
Yeah.
So is it okay if we go and take a look?
Let's give it a shot. Yeah.
Come on, guys. Let's go see what exactly happens here.
The people in this section are the definition of workhorses. Once the coconuts are deshelled, they're passed along the chute into the next area, where the brown skin is carefully removed and separated from the white flesh. Jason explained that this brown skin doesn't go to waste either. It's sent out for further processing and used to make coconut oil.
Alright, so very quickly we'll get the pairing done.
Okay.
After that we need to get the kernels washed into the conveyor, and then straight into the hot water tank where the first step of sterilization takes place.
Okay,
And
that's
from
up there.
there,
Okay.
it will go to the next section, which I'll walk you through at the next
Okay,
on
okay.
that side. Yeah. So why don't we give it a shot? Why don't we get
Okay.
you pairing, and we'll start from there.
Okay, where do I start? There?
We'll take you in the corner.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
I think you just need to be careful with the knife.
Okay.
Peel as best as you can. We'll give it a shot. We'll
Okay.
try. We'll see where it goes. Yeah.
Sure. Here's a look at the utensil that they use. The blade is on the inside, and then you also put this and peel it. Yet another blade. I had to be extra careful once again. These ladies work at the rate of machines. They peel the skin off of the coconut after the deshelling process and extract only the meat. They use a unique looking blade to peel the skin, which I couldn't really get the hang of using, and I ultimately ended up cutting myself a bit. Chitra Nandani, the lady that was nice enough to take a bit of time off and guide me, said that she has over 25 years of experience doing this, day in and day out. The skill level that these ladies have is unmatched. They are so quick and efficient, and they play a key role in making sure that the process moves smoothly. While walking in, I slipped quite a few times. This place is very slippery. Once I got my footing, Jason showed me around and explained the entire process of the wet section of the factory. There's so much happening at such a fast pace, it's hard to keep track of once you go in. What I realized is the level of precision regardless of the intensity in the room. I then started moving the meat from the water basins to the conveyor that takes it to the dry section, which is way tougher than it looks. Although this looks like a very simple task, if taking it from this conveying to that, it's actually very tiresome. It takes a toll. Imagine doing this every day for hours on end.
Alright, so good experience. Let's get changed.
Yeah, really
Let's
good experience.
put on our dry section uniform, and I'll meet you there.
Okay, I'll see you there.
Alright, see you. Alright, Mel. So now we are going into the dry section.
Okay.
This is where the final production takes place.
Okay.
Again, we'll go through our hygiene process and we'll walk
Yeah,
through.
for sure.
You know.
So
take
slippers
our
off
shoes
first?
off. Yeah,
Okay.
shoes off here. So now we're going to the dryer room.
Okay.
In the dryer room, we have the cutter.
Okay.
That's where you saw from the hot water tank. It's coming through.
That's that.
Yeah.
Okay.
And you have to cut the correct size.
Okay.
Fill the dryer, and the drying will take place.
So this is the dryer.
It's the dryer. Yeah.
Wow, okay.
Alright, Mel. So in this part, after the drying is done, we have to use a cooling table to get the temperature back down to packable temperature.
Okay,
right?
okay. But it's really hot.
It's really hot. Ideally, we want to pack around 30 degrees Celsius.
Okay.
In the same time, you can do some inspection.
Yeah.
Any brown colors, anything that has got burnt, you have to take it out. So give it a shot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Again, this may look like a very simple task, but it takes a whole other level of focus and concentration to keep doing this day in and day out. Especially if you are someone like me that has the attention span of a goldfish. Additionally, Jason also mentioned that the moisture of the coconut meat is brought down to a staggering 2% in order to maintain its crispiness and texture, and I was lucky enough to get a taste of the freshly dried DC.
All right, Mananta, so this is called the shifter.
The shifter?
Yeah.
Okay.
So here we are grading to 3 different sizes.
Okay.
You have coarse on the top,
Okay.
you have medium on that side, and fine, which is the smallest particle on this side.
Okay.
The smallest particle usually will have the highest tendency to have some metal.
Foreign object. Okay.
Foreign object.
Okay.
So that's why on the inline metal detector, we are checking up to 1 millimeter. If you can check that very tiny piece,
1 millimeter
up to
metal
1 millimeter.
can be detected.
Can detect that, yeah.
Okay.
And you will be packing here.
Okay.
So if the alarm goes on, just inform the supervisor, and
Okay.
that's sort of your role here.
Yeah.
I would say start with that. Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So you can come this way.
So I just need to be aware if the detector goes
If
off.
the machine
Okay.
goes on,
Okay.
yes. All right, I'll let you enjoy.
Yes.
Having spent time at the factory and going through the entire process, one thing that stood out to me was how no part of the coconut is wasted. It is used to produce food, fuel, and oil, among other things. When speaking to Jason about this, he mentioned that on average, 60% of the coconut is wasted when used for household purposes. And in the grand scheme of things, this has a huge economic impact. If 50% of the coconut's wasted is reduced, the Sri Lankan economy stands to gain a whopping $158 million annually, and that really puts things into perspective.
All right, so after the filling and the packing and the sealing is done, moves into the storage room. This is temporary storage.
Okay.
Because after that, we'll take it into loading.
Okay, through that gate.
Through the loading door, yes.
Okay.
Through there. So I guess you asked about the fire that took place in 2019.
Yeah.
So
This is the
basically
one
this-
you mentioned on the podcast previously.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so-
season 2, yeah.
So the entire dry section from where you started at the dryer
Yeah.
caught fire and came all the way forward. So what we
Okay.
did different was we changed the direction of the dryer.
Okay.
We added a firewall in. Obviously, we added sprinkler systems, and we try our best to reduce the stock inside the factory at all times.
okay.
I know it looks like a lot, but this is a lot less than
Less
it would
than
have
it used to be,
So
okay.
we try our best to move stock out faster, so we don't retain too much heat
Yeah,
inside the
inside,
building.
okay.
So how was your experience so far?
I think in the dry section, it's been quite interesting. I think this is the biggest section that we've been in. And considering what you showed me, the dryer was super hot. I think that's one thing that I noticed. And I think the organization here is just to a T.
Right.
So good job on that. Like,
right,
very
yeah.
commendable. Yeah.
All right, thank you so much. Thanks
Yeah.
for coming.
No problem.
And we'll go on to the next section.
Yeah.
All right.
One thing that definitely grabbed my attention was the rich history. You can really see the evolution of the factory as you walk through it. The combination of the old and the new is very refreshing. The character that has been built over 3 generations is something no one can ever take away from this place.
All right, come on, Emil. How's your day? Take a seat. I think you're a little tired.
Thanks. Yeah. Pretty exhausting, but I mean, there's so much that I learned. So thank you. But yeah, overall, very exhausting. Glad to be back in your office.
Nice chilled coconut water.
Of course. How fitting. Coconuts everywhere.
All right, cheers.
Cheers. It's really good.
Tastes like hard work.
Yeah, I feel like I earned this one.
All right. So quick quiz.
Okay.
So from what you saw in the dry section,
Yeah.
which one of these products will be producing?
Okay. That's a tough one.
I'll get you a little snack while you
Okay.
figure it out.
What was the question? Can you rephrase? What was?
The product that we were producing today.
Oh, okay. It was one of these two. Yeah?
Can you give me a name?
And the fine one.
Okay,
Yeah.
nice. Which one is that?
For this brother,
All right, good.
Yeah?
Good guess.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. And the other one was the medium?
Correct.
Is it that?
Yeah.
Medium?
And this is a sugar-coated coconut chips. You can try
Oh,
it.
flavored one.
Yeah.
Really good.
All right, Mel. So,
Yeah.
how was your day? Any take-backs?
Yeah, a few. I'd say one is how physically challenging it is and how they do this on a day-to-day basis, which is, I think, very commendable. I think good job to them. Number two is how efficiently such a big factory runs at this scale. I think that's
I mean, good job to you. Amazing.
Not just a pretty face.
Not just a pretty face, definitely. And then number 3 is how you have a mix of modern technology and then you stuck to like the old school rules that your grandfather sort of started the factory with. So those are the 3 things that I would say I'm taking away from today. And Jason, I just want to say a big thank you to you for taking time off. I know that you're super busy and you accommodated us and stopped the process, a few processes first, which I saw. So thank you so much for taking time. And thank you for continuing to be a part of the Jepic Journeys family. You come time and time again. So hopefully we'll see you again soon.
Waiting for the YouTube payments.
Yes.
Thanks.
It's 5:50 p.m. at the moment and we've officially been at the factory for exactly 12 hours. And throughout these 12 hours, I've had the chance to go around and explore each and every section of the factory thanks to Jason, who showed me around and explained exactly what happens at each section. We started off at the Deshelling section, which was personally my favorite, although I almost got my fingers chopped off and wasted a bunch of coconuts. But Jason explained how it's part and parcel of the process and how every part of the coconut is preserved and used at some point. So while I tried my best to work at a coconut factory and put myself in their shoes, I made a bit of a fool of myself and embarrassed myself a bit in the process. But I'm not upset because I was able to get valuable insight into what these people do on a day-to-day basis and see the hard work and heart that they put in to produce some of the best coconut-related products that's sent throughout the world. So next time you see a coconut or coconut-related product at home or at the store, remember that there is a valuable story behind each and every product. So thank you for joining us on this Jepic journey. And comment below what career you want me to try next and what work we should honor. Thank you for watching.